Hey everyone, Damien Vidovic here from the Tadima Network once more, bringing you a 3 vs 3 Dawn of War Soulstorm replay on the map Thargorum. So, top right team, as you can see, consists of Tau, Space Marines and Imperial Guard, and the bottom left team consists of Space Marines, Necrons and Eldar. So there we go, good stuff indeed. So just having a look at the opening build orders, pretty standard stuff so far. Looks like Imperial Guard are going for a slightly earlier builder. Usually they do that after getting the second Guardsman squad, given how much time they take to make. In any case, that's what they're doing, and looks like the Space Marine player is not doing much, to say the least. He was, I thought he might have been planning to do an early tech to tier 2, but apparently not, so he's going to be building Space Marine squad to start off with. As for the Necron player, he's going for a pretty early Necron Lord actually. He's only got a couple of Scarab squads out. As for Elder, we're seeing... that's interesting, we're going to see a bit more of a melee oriented build, which you don't see too often at the beginning for Elder actually. You normally see something like a Dark Reaper or Ranger squad. So it should be interesting to see how that works out. So yeah, they're building their first Howling Banshee squad, and... oh, that's a pretty nice move. So yeah, it looks like the Necrons did have a third Scarab squad, and as you can see, yeah, they've decided to secure this relic and also the strategic point at the same time. So that actually stops listing posts from being built here, and also stops this point from being captured by the top right team. So very good play indeed. And yep, that can indeed be seen though, so should just be a matter of time before the top right team decides to get rid of that, but yeah, certainly for the moment it'll be secured by the bottom left team. And as for the tower, looks like they've decided to go for a bit more of a... make a bit more of a melee-oriented build. There they are. With good old Vespids and Crute Warriors do a bit of damage. And there you go, nice little interception by these Vespers. They'll be doing a bit of damage to these Scarabs, and it looks like they might just be able to take down the Gorse turret as well, actually. But unfortunately, yeah, the Necron Lord is teleported in, and yeah, it's going to be doing a bit of damage there, so... pretty sneaky moves by the Necrons so far, actually. So we got this point secured, as well as this point secured. So I don't think the Gorse turret can reach that top left point, though. I'm pretty sure. And what do you know, Necron Lord is actually teleported straight into the Tau's base to do a bit of harassment, which is kind of surprising, really. But then again, I suppose it's not as if Necrons would have too much to worry about when it comes to having the points seized. And yeah, good old Tau capturing the middle, and yeah, no one's capturing the relic, strangely enough. And yeah, looks like whoever was hosting the game enabled the critical locations controlled victory condition, so that basically means if you control the majority, then yeah, you basically start to, well, you could win the game, basically. Yeah, it's interesting. For some reason, bottom left team has not captured this critical location. I'm not entirely sure why. They're now they're finally sending a scouting squad to do it, and we finally might be seeing a bit of an engagement here, actually. Eldar looks like they've researched the Fleet of Foot edition, going to be doing a bit of, well, trying to be doing a bit of melee damage with their Banshee squad. So not entirely sure what they were thinking there. They kept the Fleet of Foot ability activated on the Howling Banshee even when they closed in for melee, and probably with Fleet of Foot, of course, is that it decreases the accuracy of your troops when it's activated, although it makes them move around a lot faster, so you'd want to do that when you're closing in, but certainly not when you're actually engaged in melee though. Seeing a rather interesting troops whole composition here. Force Commander, pretty standard stuff actually from the top right team, with the exception of maybe Tau having the early Crute Warriors, and yeah, pretty standard stuff so far for the bottom left team as well, actually. Unfortunately, it looks like the top right team is being driven back though, which means that the points will most likely be decapped, as you can see. As for what's happening at the base, what do you know, Eldar's actually at tier 2 already, and they're going for early vehicles. As for the Eldar, looks like they're just going for pretty bog standard build. Well, actually, it's not really too standard because I mean normally they'd have more power plants by this stage. And it looks like Space Marines are going for the armory. So they see. Oh, okay, and they're going for tier 2 at the same time. So pretty standard timing so far, and we're seeing a bit of a battle in the middle still. But yeah, unfortunately, it looks like the top right team will most certainly have to retreat. Do we see anything set up though? Yeah, we do see a listing post. Oh, that's all the way there though, which they can avoid. But at the same time, we do have the field command, which is actually going to tier 2 as well here as well. So what you can see is the tech priests being garrisoned in that building, and they actually don't provide such bad firepower when you get enough in there. Actually, so it's not so bad to have the Imperial Guard in the in the front here, because this building can be garrisoned, this building can be garrisoned, and even this listing post with a turret on top can be garrisoned to provide extra power as well, extra firepower, should I say. But unfortunately, looks like the bottom left team has not taken the bait, and wow. This Necron is just dying almost simultaneously. But anyway, yeah, it looks like the bottom left team has not taken the bait though. They'll be consolidating their position in the middle. Especially with this victory condition enabled. There's not too much of a reason for them to actually... Wow. Okay, anyway, there's not too much of a reason for them to move out, at least not as quickly as they might normally. And what do you know, that Gauss turret actually he has the range to pick off that HQ, so if nothing's done about that, then it'll eventually destroy it, which is kind of funny, really. A bit of light harassment on the listing post, and yeah, it looks like the order player was pretty smart. It looks like they drove their Falcon grav tank right up to the listing post, that it automatically targeted this first, and then they sent in the Guardian squads to do additional damage as well. So you certainly would want to micro your listing post a bit so that it actually targets the infantry instead of the vehicle, because as you can see the vehicle's got plenty of health left, and the infantry units are just shooting without too much consequence really, and down the listing post goes. So pretty bad stuff there indeed. Although at the same time you do have a bit of harassment by the Vespids, and they've actually managed to kill off the Gauss turret. Unfortunately they can't decap points though. So yeah, there's well, they'll most likely have to jump out of here. Yep, there you go. So yeah, top right team is certainly in a bit of trouble actually. Just see if they have anything planned yet. So it looks like the Imperial Guard is at tier 2. They got their heavy weapons upgraded, and that's for the Space Marines. Looks like they've actually decided to go for their Scout Marines armed with sniper rifles, and they're actually going to be getting the infiltration research. Sorry, infiltration research. So interesting stuff there indeed. As for the town, not doing too much. As for the bottom left side, looks like the Eldar are still staying with the vehicle route, what I can see. Necrons have upgraded to tier 2, and yeah, there's a summoning core. They don't appear to have made any other structures, particular structures except that. As for the Space Marines, yeah, we're going to see a bit more of an infantry-based build with their sacred artifact builds. And what do you know, actually seeing a bit more of an elite build, although these Grey Knights, they don't have any heroes attached, and yeah, these guys, they work especially well when you have something like a chaplain attached, because yeah, when you combine his demoralizing shout ability with their psychic acquisition, you can actually get quite a bit of damage done to the enemy. But in either case, they haven't decided to do that for whatever reason. They've actually decided to go for a librarian and do have their own force commander. So it looks like they've actually gone for those two heroes before going for a chaplain, which I think it's not really doing them any favours. You can see they're just slowly getting picked off. Grav's tank so managing to do a bit of harassment. So yeah, I'm not sure how the top right team's going to manage with all this happening. And they certainly do have some masses of troops. Although yeah, with the continual harassment being done by this Elder player, pretty effective harassment actually, it's going to be a bit hard for, and yeah, not to mention these Gauss turrets continuing to do long range harassment, actually taking out the entire Vespid Stingwing squad. Yeah, it's going to be hard to imagine how the top right team's going to pull out. From what I can see though, if they go straight for this little clump here, maybe if they jump in there, Vespid Stingwings or some other melee troop in there, they might be able to do a bit of damage combined with maybe their own elite infantry, such as the Chaplain and the Grey Knights, for example, to be able to do to slow them down. Well, just if they could slow down either this squad or perhaps this squad, cast Psychic Inquisition, they'd be able to do quite a bit of damage actually. But not really seeing too much apart from our other standard build for this Space Marine player. And as for Imperial Guard, it doesn't look like as if they're going for anything too wacky either, although it looks like they've built all their buildings at the back though. Most likely because they don't want the well, I'm probably afraid that their fronts to all get busted, so there you go. Looks like these Ghost turrets have actually been upgraded, so they'll be doing even more damage to that headquarters. Actually, I'm actually surprised that they could do that. There you go.
3 minutes until taking full victory.
So it looks like the got a bit of a counter-attack happening by the top right team. Managing to draw a couple of troops away from the crater. We'll see how that works out for them though. There's this command squad. Actually no, never mind, I was looking for something else, but anyway. So yeah, pretty good use by the Chimera actually. Although I don't... It's not going to survive much longer if it keeps doing that actually. And there it goes. So yeah, it looks like top right team will most certainly want to commit to this battle, given that they have a pretty sizable number of Imperial Guardsmen, as combined with their upgraded heavy weapons. And yeah, they certainly would not want to sacrifice that. Now, it's been a relatively tight game actually. Well, tight maybe for the top right team. The bottom right team has certainly had a bit of an easy time, but it looks like that might actually change though with this top right team doing a bit of damage in the middle actually. If for some reason the Necrons are keeping the squads back though, I'm not entirely sure why they're doing that. What they might want to do is maybe build a power plant here as well, so they can teleport Necron warriors, well, Necron squads in general there, so they can reinforce quickly, but for whatever reason they decided not to do that. It's interesting, one of the players saying good game, although according to this replay it'll be going a little bit longer than that actually. So who's actually saying that? Slayer boxing? Huh. Not entirely sure actually, to be honest. Must be one of the bottom left players maybe. In either case, it ain't over yet until the fat lady sings, so to speak. And yeah, so far we've actually seen this few melee troops that have been deployed. Have actually been used to a pretty good effect. To be honest, I had some doubts when I first saw the Dreadnought being built a bit earlier on. Oh, okay, that's why. I forgot about that. The critical location has been held by the bottom left team, and yeah, they got a minute remaining. So, one way or another, it looks like it's most likely going to get to cap. It's going to be pretty close though. It's 40, well, about 40 seconds left until bottom left team wins the game, just from that particular victory condition. And there you go, there goes the decap.
30 seconds
I
until
wonder if
the
just check quickly. Okay, so yeah, looks like the Imperial Guard is unfortunately not at tier 3 though, so they'll be taking full damage as you can see, although they'll just be able to decap. There you go, there's the decap just in time, so not bad at all, not bad. Because yeah, if the Imperial Guard was in tier 3, they could have used Fanaticism on that particular squad when they, well, because of the priest, to stop them taking a bit of damage, but there you go. They died for the greater cause, so to speak. So I'm sure they're just as overjoyed as the commanders are, given they all they just got rather remorselessly slaughtered, but there you go. That's interesting. I think that's a new Dreadnought actually. And we're seeing some pretty heavy walker usage by the Elder though, but this is not quite the best way to use them. And this is maybe they double team the Dreadnought, which is what they're doing now. Because these Wraith Floats that the Elder have, they're not quite as durable or as powerful as these Dreadnought vehicles. So, as you can see, one-on-one they can be beaten pretty easily. And there you go, Dreadnought just barely being able to pull through, most likely going to retreat to get repaired, most likely. Because yeah, Dreadnoughts are pretty expensive to make up for how good they are. Looks like we got Elder going to tier 2 and Space Marine still at tier 2. I mean, Imperial Guard going to tier 3. Space Marine's still tier 2, and I think the... Yep, looks like the tower's still at tier 2 actually. Oh, okay, so... Whoops, made a bit of a mistake there. Looks like the Space Marine player was actually at tier 3, so there you go. It's kind of hard to tell really, because this HQ building changes when the tiers change, but it doesn't, well, doesn't look that much different really, unless you actually see the change yourself as it's happening. So we've got a bit of a Mexican standoff between this the bottom left team and the top right team there. Just looking at troop compositions, we're seeing some pretty good compositions by the bottom left team, and some pretty good compositions by the top right team as well. The Predator, it's a bit, one could say it's a bit early to include that, but then again, given that we're seeing mostly heavy infantry armies, it's actually a pretty good choice. So. Normally I'd usually build a Predator a bit closer to tier 4, when you can actually upgrade these las cannons, or rather upgrade the turret and the sponsoon turret? Yeah, or in the case, yeah, upgrade that to be more effective against vehicles as well. Boom, down goes the Wraith Lord. So yeah, although players certainly not seeing too much use out of the Wraith Lord actually. Wraith Lords actually, because they've built multiple ones. Probably should be using a different troop number instead. That's in either case, looks like the top right team is being pushed back a bit though, and it looks like the Necron player has overextended their pariahs just a bit though. They'll all get killed off unfortunately. And it looks like if the Space Marine player is not careful, he'll actually overextend his Predator unit, but he's pulling it back just in the nick of time. He'll most likely be repairing that as well. And there we go, yeah, we've got to take Assault Terminators coming out, and you've got regular Terminators out as well for the Space Marines. So indeed, just like they promised, their troops are coming out. Although I just noticed that all this time though, bottom of team has indeed had a slight economic advantage by holding both the top and the bottom relic points. This also means they'll be able to make super units when the time comes as well. And this is rather ballsy. The Elder player is actually teleported directly into the tower base, and he's actually capturing one of his own points. So tower player not in the best of shape to say the least, but given the circumstances, I'd say the top right team has actually done pretty well for themselves. Given that, yeah, the tower player has almost been knocked out, really. And yeah, now it's finally the top right team's turn to do a bit of harassment as well. Yeah, there you go, looks like Monolith is on the way for the Necron, so yeah, they'll be building their own super unit, and looks like Elder will be able to build their own super unit as well at some point, most likely. Necron Lord, as you can see, teleported. Unfortunately, a bit of a misplaced Solar Pulse ability though. He might have just been trying to delay the troops, but then again, top right team can just go through that flank there though, so I don't know how much they really did, although the top right team seems to be falling for it though, which is quite amazing really. They're just sending their ranged troops directly into the middle, literally into the middle of that Solar Pulse, which is a bit funny really. And there we go. Having a look, yep, that's the actual restored Monolith, so I don't actually see super units being used too often. So seeing something like this being used is actually a nice little treat actually. So I certainly wasn't expecting to see that this game. Yeah, there you go, as you can see it does a bit of damage and a bit of disruption damage as well when its main weapon is actually used on infantry. Although its main weapon isn't too bad against vehicles either, so pretty good all around really. Looks like something out of Doctor Who actually. It's like a little green Dalek maybe, with its little things waving about, you see. Exterminate. Ah, good stuff. Yeah, so yeah, it's actually giving some problems for the top right team as you can see, and I think that restored Monolith has teleported. I don't see what the point of that was though. And at the same time we did have a bit of harassment happening in the Space Marine player base. I don't think it did too much damage though. This might have just been to distract the top right team, while the Monolith did a bit of damage. For some reason, this Necron player has allowed his 2 Sentinels to be kept alive though, although they are within the, or they were in the Solar Pulse build, Solar Pulse field of effect, so to speak. Yeah, it looks like Space Marine players upgraded to rocket launchers to counter the threat, and just having a look, wow, they actually haven't repaired their Predator, so that's will certainly not help them when it goes up against the Monolith, or if it goes up against the Monolith. Although by the looks of it, yeah, we got some upgrades for the Librarian actually, even though the Librarian isn't out yet. And yeah, finally seeing another engagement in the middle. This time might be a little bit more decisive, given that we are getting a bit closer towards the end of the game though. And the Monolith is of course being involved as well. So yeah, it might just be a matter of time before we see the Eldar also use their super unit as well, because their own super unit is actually pretty decent. It's the Avatar of Cain. It's a pretty good super unit on its own, but it also makes nearby Eldar squads invulnerable to morale damage, and at the same time allows the Eldar player to actually build more as well. So although the Eldar doesn't seem to have too much out at the moment though, he's still couldn't hurt to have a melee super unit doing a bit of disruption damage as well, especially given how ranged oriented the top right team mostly is. But at the moment, the top right team does seem to be thinning out the bottom left team's army. Actually, the only significant army we have are the Warp Spiders. So we'll see if they're able to do any damage. Yeah, there you go, pretty good control by the Space Marine commander. It looks like he redirected his Scout Marines as soon as he saw those Warp Spiders warp in actually, so pretty good control indeed, although it looks like they've been detected unfortunately and now they're being forced to retreat a bit there. Yeah, so just about the only thing that's really keeping the bottom left team in the game at the moment is indeed that Monolith. It's such a, well, as you can see, it's got 10,000 hit points, so pretty big damage sponge to say the least. And yeah, it's pretty sparkly as well, as you can see. So it just scares it in any way with its sparkling and, well, I suppose its weapons also might play a small role as well. Never hurts to have a big gun, and after all, not all that glitters is gold, as they say. And yeah, Necron Monolith though is being forced to slowly retreat. And we do have a new Predator out, and yeah, unfortunately, Space Marine Commander is still in tier 4. It's still in tier 3, sorry, should I say. Builder Scarabs though, looks like they're being brought in. I don't think they're being used to repair. Oh, actually, yep, they are, yeah. For some reason, only one of them seems to be. Okay, yeah, 2 of them are playing the repair animation. For some reason, it wasn't. It was only one before. And we got the Necron Lord actually teleporting into the Space Marine base to do a bit of harassment as well. I don't think he'll be able to do too much though. As yeah, he'll just need to, well, just need something like Assault's Terminators or something else to just knock him around to stop that harassment from being too effective. And yeah, finally the Space Marine Commander has gone to tier 4, and yeah, hopefully we should be seeing his Predators being upgraded to las cannons as well to do extra damage against units like this one. Although it looks like it's a bit late for that. The Monolith will be teleporting back to base, or at least I thought it was going to be teleporting back to base, and there you go, it finally has. So. Yeah, the Necron player will have to repair that Monolith, and oh, it's repairing itself actually. Well, they couldn't have to repair it as well with their own Builder Scarabs, and yeah, have to redeploy that. As for the Necrons, pretty interesting maneuver there. We saw the Necron Lord teleport, or where is he actually? Oh, it didn't teleport, so it just came in there. And yeah, just raised the whole army, and yeah, provided they can live long enough, that might actually be pretty useful to have around, so pretty good. I don't know if it was intentional for the Necron players to sacrifice so many Necron troops in one particular place like this one, but in any case it certainly ended up working pretty well for them, as you can see. And yeah, as you can see, the Space Marine commander from the top right team has decapped the critical location. For whatever reason though, he's deciding not to actually capture it though, I'm not entirely sure why. So yeah, bottom left team once again being forced to back down a bit though, but we haven't actually seen any battles going this close to their base, unlike the top right team when we had a battle going, well, had a running battle that's almost reached the Imperial Guard base actually. And what do you know, we finally have the Avatar of Cain out for the Elder, so we'll be able to do a bit of melee damage there. Although I'd say, yeah, Elder would have probably done much better to have the Avatar of Cain out at the same time that the Necron Monolith was out as well. Because yeah, having a combination of melee and a ranged super unit certainly would have been a pretty good, well, a pretty good combined arms approach to the what the top right team has been trying out, which has been mostly ranged units from what I can see, except for the couple of early crude warriors being used by the tower at the beginning. Yeah, but as you can see, yeah, the top right team has mostly switched to ranged troops, except for good old assault Terminators and of course the Dreadnought, which has been killed off pretty quickly. So these prizes are going to get killed off pretty quickly as well, actually. So I'm not entirely sure what they're trying to do with that Dreadnought. It looks like they're just trying to disrupt the Warp Spider squad, but it's not lasting too long because of the good old Avatar of Cain. Just knocking things around, as you can see, and that a guardsman is not having the best of days, to say the least. Okay, finally the Space Marine player is upgrading their Predators to las cannons, though when it comes to demonic units like this Avatar of Cain, I'm not entirely sure how much of a difference that'll actually make though. Especially since it's come under fire by 2 fire prisms at the same time. And we've got the elite troops being mustered up by the by the bottom left Space Marine team. So, but as you can see on the minimap, when it comes to sheer army size, the top right team certainly has the advantage. But yeah, they're being forced to move back again. Although the chances are the battle will shift once more once this Avatar of Cain has been killed off. And what do you know? We've actually got a bunch of flayed ones teleporting straight into the straight into their tower base. Is going to be doing quite a bit of damage there. Managed to destroy barracks building, and if they actually manage to destroy this Path to Enlightenment building, they'll actually be putting back the tower into tier 1, I think, although I'm not entirely sure if this vehicle beacon counts as a teching building. Tower they take by building buildings rather than by going from one tier to another. But in the case, looks like top right team is indeed mopping up a bit in the middle, and tower player, all he has to do is really just delay the Necron Fire Warriors. Sorry, delay the Necron Flayed ones. And yeah, hopefully he'll be able to just minimise the amount of damage being done to his own base, although doing a fair bit of damage to these Flayed ones. At the same time though, we do have harassment happening in the Space Marine player's base as well actually, so the orbital relay has been destroyed, the barracks has been destroyed, the vehicle plant is no longer there near the cave. Oh, that's right, the vehicle plant was actually made here, so it's been able to keep it relatively safe so far, but at the same time, what do you know, you've got a second Dreadnought working on this listening shrine. So yeah, it looks like the Space Marine player might be in a bit of trouble actually, doesn't really have too much to defend against this. Warp Spider's actually pretty decent units in general, but unless if they're equipped with haywire grenades, they're not going to be able to do too much damage to this Dreadnought before he destroys the Striking Artifact, at the very least, yeah, that and the army at the same time. For whatever reason though, this top right team is deciding to stay in the middle, so just content to be doing a bit of harassment on the bottom of team's bases. There you go, there's a down he goes. Little Warp Spider not having the best of days. Although these fire prisms should be able to mop up the Dreadnought pretty easily, to say the least. I think these tanks would have more stability when firing, but there you go. I'm not entirely sure what that 1.2 is in relation to. I know that the current version of the game is 1.2. Actually, it's been that way quite some time now. Fortunately, yeah, Relic hasn't decided to release any more official patches or fix the what is it, the auto matching function. I think that was a bit screwy as well, but either. So surprisingly enough, the bottom left team has still managed to hold on to the middle, even though, or rather to their half of the middle, I suppose you could say, even though the top right team has managed to destroy the Space Marine players' base at the bottom here. But it's not too bad actually. We might just see the possibly a temporary shift at the very least to the bottom left team's favour. Especially if only a few minutes to go, but see what happens. See what happens there. So I'm just not if we've got a destroy being deployed here. Bit of an odd choice for the Necrons, given that it's an anti-infantry and not an anti-vehicle unit, and yeah, he went down pretty quickly. We've got super units out for both the Imperial Guard and the Space Marines. Got good old Baneblade and good old Land Raider out as well. With its nice little World War I tank tracks on the front, as you can see. So yeah, I'm surprised that bottom left team is just not detracking it, but unfortunately the damage simulation is just not that in depth. And there we go, looks like time is about to count down, and the top right team is most likely going to win, unless if we see some sort of decap happening, which is not the case. So there you go. Boom, top right team has won. So pretty hard fought victory to say the least, given that this base by the tower was well, pretty much under siege almost the entire time until the until near the end really. It had most of the stuff wiped out, so pretty good effort by the top right team indeed. So hang on, just wow, that's a bit laggy there. Looks like we got a bit of detail actually happening there. So just trying to show you a nice little detail, just a nice little battle frozen in motion, so to speak. So there you go, flaming and all that, pretty nice. So yeah, I'll be uploading this game a bit later on, and until that happens, this has been Damien Davidovich signing off.